Where my dogs at? Har, 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 har. Did y'all know, man, that they saying the running back position is done, that the running back position is over, that the running back position is devalued? And me personally, I would like to tell y'all that it's not devalued. We just in a transitional period right now. Everybody trying to figure out how they want to play the running back position. Everybody trying to figure out, do you need one running back as a bell cow running back, or can we just split the time and divvy it up between two backs? And this is not foreign, as some of y'all do not know. There's always been a two-back system in place. Yeah, you had your span where you had the 80s and the 90s, where you had the every down back, but you still had a guy splitting carries with your guys. You always had that second guy. Even in college, there's always a two-back system. So this is not foreign to the NFL, and it's nothing new. These guys used to this stuff in college, and when they get to the pros, it's just a little bit different. These running backs want to get paid. But we need to go back to where it started. It started back in 2018 with your boy Todd Gurley. When Todd Gurley signed that $51 million contract, y'all, and then he came back with the knee injuries, then bad knees falling off the bone. Basically, that didn't work out, so they released him. Then they sent him over there to the Atlanta Falcons, where I think he was making $5 million a year on that contract. And Todd Gurley, after that contract, was never the same. Now, we move to 2019, and Ezekiel Elliott comes out, and he has his fight for his contract. He gets paid, and a lot of that money up front was guaranteed, but I think the last 3 years of that deal was not guaranteed for the Ezekiel Elliott part. And what that was doing was that put a lot of GMs, a lot of coaches in a bad situation, because they felt like, why are we paying these backs all this money when they getting hurt or they're not living up to the contract of their expectations, what we placed on them for the contract. Now, I don't want nobody to think, running backs, I think, deserve their money. I think you should get your money. The owners, I see their side. It's a two-sided coin, and we got to keep this thing down the middle. We got to see it from the running back side. We got to see it from the general managers and the owner side of the football of the thing. So we got those two things out of the way. The player side of the coin is where it gets tricky, because the players voted for this type of situation with the franchise tagging, with the collective bargaining agreement, with the CBA. I think where they went wrong at was, I think they should have fought for, if you're going to come in, you're going to be a first-round draft pick. I think if you're a first-round draft pick, the first 4 years, you got a 4-year deal, and I think it's a player option on the 5th year. I think, me personally, what they should have fought for was more smaller contracts, so say a 3-year deal with a player option instead of the team option, and got rid of the franchise tag altogether, so that they can have more flexibility to lead and make the money that they feel like they should make. Because if you run for a team 4 years, by the time you get that 5th year, and if they franchise you for that 5th year, now you 5 years in, and we know the shelf life of a running back is 3 years long. So now you're never going to make the contract money that you deserve on that. So I think they should go to a shorter contract early and try to see if they can re-up later. So now to add up to about that third, say they run good for 1, 2, 3 years, that 4th, 5th year, now they can make some money right there, and that'll probably be the end of their contract, and try to do the best they can or get more money up front on their signing bonuses. But man, I want to piggyback off, because it's coming to me right now as I'm speaking, y'all, but I don't want to mess up my thoughts. With the let's go back to college football right here. With college football going the way it is, with the NIL deals, I think that's where your running backs are going to have to make their money. And I think they're going to have to get financial advisors as they make their money. So if you're a big-time running back and you rush for all these yards in college and you can get the most money that you can get there, then you can stack up that money there and transition it to the NFL. So now by the time you get to the NFL, you probably done made $7, $8, $9 million before you even touch the NFL contract. Now, if you're a big time back, you go in the first round, because running backs ain't been going in the first round that much as they used to back in the days. So if you could be a first round running back and come into the league, now you already $8 million in, and then now you get your first contract, and that's, say we get it down to 3 years or something like that. You get it down to 3 years, say Rick can start off at 3-year contracts, and then that 4th year will be a player option and stuff like that to try to re-up to get a little bit more money. that's where I think the guys will start to make their more money with the NIL deals. I think the NIL, if you think about it from a logical perspective, I think the NIL deals can actually help the running backs prolong their career and develop wealth for their families and for themselves. You know what I mean? If you're gonna play it like that. But that's just a thought that I was just thinking that I was just thinking what it can make their money. And I think they need to negotiate in the collective bargaining agreement in those terms to focus on health insurance for the rest of their life. I think they need to first get rid of that franchise tag that's hampering them, where they can't make the money that they need to make. And I really believe that they should have did that last year, so they're not gonna have another collective bargaining agreement till 2030. So man, they're in a tough situation right now. I do think there's still some good running backs out there. I think Christian McCaffrey. I think Derrick Henry's still a good running back. I think Miles Sanders still a good running back. Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook still running back. But these running backs done been hurt at some point in time in their career. I think Derrick Henry just finished up his first season where he's been hurt. He's been a bell cow, every down back. But that's all he's done is run. And I don't know if you can win a Super Bowl by paying your running back all that money. You know what I mean? I think you can kind of win games running back by committee, the way they've been doing it. And it's been shown, it's been proven. I can't remember the last time a running back has won the Super Bowl, like where it's a predominantly running team. And I think, man, that the running backs not devalued. I don't think they devalue. I think they do got value, but I don't think they willing to pay these running back all this money because of the injuries, man. I think it's 2 running backs hurt right now at the beginning of the camp in Seattle. Kenneth Walker and the rookie they just signed. They out. You know what I mean? It's just harder and harder. Tony Pollard last year in the playoffs, he got hurt. And listen, y'all, one thing I never do, as long as if y'all see me on YouTube, I would never bash a player for being hurt. Whether it's football, soccer, basketball, injuries happen. You cannot control injuries. I don't care what nobody tell you. That's one thing I hate is when you kill players for injuries. You can't, no matter how hard you work out. You got the best workouts warriors in the world. These people train their body. They go through rigorous workouts. They go through rigorous training. They eat good. Some of them do. They eat good. They train, but you cannot control the injury. I don't care how much you train, how much medicine you put in your body. I don't care if you get on roids. You cannot prevent an ACL going out. You cannot prevent an ankle sprain. You cannot prevent a broken limb. None of that. So this stuff, man, every person on the field is injury prone. From the quarterback, from the lineman, from the running back, from the receiver. Every time you put on the uniform, any sport, you are injury prone. Some people just blessed and fortunate not to have that serious catastrophic injury or not been injured before. But the moment you play any sport, it don't matter what it is, you are injury prone. To single out some players and say they're injury prone is not fair. Yes, they might get hurt more than what somebody else because another person was blessed not to get hurt. But everybody out there is hurt at some point in time. Some injuries just cause where you just can't. Some people just get hurt to where they can't finish the season and stuff like that. So you can't control that. Listen, on the owner side of things, the owners, I believe, feel like, why are we paying these dudes all this money? Whether you're offense, defense, whatever. We know for a fact, if you're a fan, if you watch this game long enough, for some reason, I don't know what it is, once these guys get this money, they fall off a cliff. Half of them rarely, after they get that contract, perform and ball. And maybe it's a theory that I got that they work so hard to get that money that once they get it, it becomes a little lackadaisical. They don't try as hard because they feel like they got the bag. And I think that's a bad way to set things. I think the next guy has to always think about the guy behind him so that the money can keep flowing. And the money will continue to grow up, go up right now. But right now, I don't think the running back is a high priority on the list of guys you want to pay for your football team. You got your quarterback, you got your left tackle, you got your pass rushers, you got your cornerbacks, you got your receivers. I don't think the running back can demand as much money as they once did because we are now in a pass-heavy league. So now you're going to play receivers more. You're going to pay the defensive end more because they got to rush the passer to get the quarterback down. You're going to pay your quarterbacks more because your quarterbacks are running the whole offense. They the guys going to help you get to the Super Bowl. And then you're going to pay your left tackles and your centers the money because your left tackle, we got a right-handed quarterback lead, so your left tackle is going to always be your quarterback's backside protection. So you're going to always pay those guys. But what these guys need to do, and I'm going to say this again, once the new CBA comes out in 2030, I don't care if they have to go on strike. And another thing is, it's the players, y'all. They want to blame the owners. They want to blame everybody else. They want to blame the media. It's at the end of the day, it's the players. They voted on this stuff. If you don't want to have a lockout, if you don't want to take something, you might have to lock yourself out. And it's not the guys who making the most money who has the problem. It's the guys who making the lower money. And it's hard to lock out because guys got family. Guys got kids. That's what people not talking about. These dudes got families. They got kids. Some of these dudes taking care of their mama, their brothers and sisters. So they can't afford to have a lockout, that's why I believe that the owner's going to always win because they have the money to be able to withstand a lockout. And I don't think the players have the know-how to stick together and say we're not going to do this because of the situation people live in. So what they do is they fold underneath the pressure. It's just like going to the casino. If you stay in the casino long enough, the casino gonna always win because their money is longer. Same thing with the collective bargaining agreement. Unless you're willing to stand firm and go all the way to the door until them owners start losing money, then we'll see some changes. But until then, I think the owners gonna always win when it comes to lockout because players want to get back, get their money, take care of their family, them bills coming in. You got a wife, everybody in here, if you're married, you know what it is, girlfriend, whatever. When you paying them bills and stuff go wrong in the house, you gonna have to deal with that from your wife or your girlfriend, whatever you want to call her, whoever you date. You gonna have to deal with that once money issues get involved. And that's why I think the players normally don't hold out and stick to it. They just had the Zoom meeting the other day, and Saquan Barkley had the Zoom meeting. The next day, Saquan Barkley signed a 1-year, $11 million deal. The next day. So right there, you not willing to stand firm because you don't want to lose money. You don't want to lose money. And I think that these players should honor their contract. If you sign a contract, I ain't talking about Saquon. Now we got Jonathan Taylor asking for a trade. I don't know what that's from, y'all. I don't know why he asked for a trade or why he would, but I know he's looking for an extension. I thought maybe he'd probably hold out, but he asked for the trade. So we don't know what's going on there fully or why he asked for the trade. But these guys should stick these contracts out or don't sign these long-term deals. I think if y'all gonna fight and you're looking for negotiations, go for 1 or 2 year deals like the NBA players do, and then try to recoup as much money as you can possible on the smaller deals instead of going for these long-term deals and just re-up like that. And I think your performance, if you go out and perform and you stay healthy, then you'll start to see the money that you want, that you think you deserve. Now, this year, to me, I got a funny suspicion. As the football season gets ready to start, I believe that the running backs are going to have a good year this year, man. You got running backs like Isaiah Pacheco in Kansas City. You got James Cook over there and these younger guys, James Cook over there at Buffalo. I think Breece Hall coming off a knee injury. Jamal Williams coming off a knee injury, man. So, man, these running backs getting hurt, man. But I think some of these running backs going to have a good year, man. And as long as these running backs continue to perform at a high level, I think the money will start going back to them. You know what I mean? Or they'll start divvying it up between two backs, man. But, man, don't give up on the running backs. It ain't over for the running backs, y'all. You still need a running back to win a Super Bowl. You still need a running back to get them tough yards when you need it. You can't win a championship without a running game. So the running backs are not over. I think they're going to have a good year. They're catching the ball out the backfield. They're just going to be utilized and spread up and divvied up in two-back forms, which is nothing wrong with that, man. Just get as much money as you can possible. Tote that rock. Hope you guys have a good season. If you like this video, make sure you hit a subscribe. Make sure you turn them post notifications on and turn them on all, man. Appreciate everybody who came through the Dawg Cage, and I will catch y'all out on the next video. Where my dogs at?